The MSI Claw AI just got a major upgrade. Microsoft recently released the full screen experience for handhelds specifically for the Claw devices through their Windows 11 beta and dev channel. Now, we don't have to do any hacking to get this up and running. It's coming to Claw devices very soon, and we're going to be taking a look at it on the MSI Claw AI. I wanted to test a few things here, like total RAM usage in full screen experience mode versus desktop mode to see how much we're saving over there. I also wanted to test a few games in desktop mode versus full screen experience mode with the same exact settings, just to see if we can get a nice bump in performance there. At the time of this video going up, this is officially available through the Windows 11 dev and beta channels for the MSI Claw devices. I've yet to test it on the MSI Claw AI with the Ryzen Z2 Extreme, but if it works out well, I might make a video on it. But I'm pretty excited about it specifically for the Claw AI, mainly because we've got the Intel chip, which does put down some really great performance in Windows. But when it comes to Linux, let's say SteamOS, we don't have great driver support, so it is kind of lacking over there in the Linux section. So this is kind of my main Windows handheld. We did test out Bazi on this. It runs, but Windows does perform much better. So having something that's just a little easier to access on a handheld, like Microsoft's full screen experience, is pretty awesome for a device like this. We've even got the new login screen so we can type in our passcode with the buttons. And so far, I mean, it's been a pretty smooth experience. Over on the Windows blog, they mentioned it. And again, you will have to be on that Windows 11 Insider preview. So dev or beta channel, but it's 7051. And lots of fixes here, I mean, like always. But if we move down, full screen experience. Following the initial launch of the full screen experience on the Asus ROG Xbox Ally and ROG Xbox Ally X, today's preview to Windows Insiders expands availability to additional Windows 11 handheld devices currently in the market. And yeah, you could always kind of get this installed on your system, using a little bit of a hack here and there. But moving down a bit further, the preview is rolling out to the MSI Claw models today, and additional OEMs enabling their handhelds in the coming months. So we're going to see this on a lot of different handhelds. Easy to kind of get up and running once you've got that build installed. You'll go to Gaming, Full Screen Experience, and enter Full Screen Experience on startup. The Claw devices were actually the first device to get nice game bar integration with, our built-in software like MSI Center M here for the Claw AI, so we can control our TDP and everything directly from there. It's just kind of baked into the game bar like we're seeing with new handhelds and the full screen experience. So that's been here for a while. But having the total package with the full screen experience has been something that we've kind of been waiting on for a while for the Claw devices, and it released directly with the ROG Xbox Ally X and the ROG Xbox Ally. And like we saw on the Windows blog, it will be coming to more devices, but this is kind of the first officially announced supported device right now from Microsoft besides the ROG Xbox Ally devices. The very first thing I wanted to take a look at here was total RAM usage with the full screen experience on and with it off in regular desktop mode. So obviously we're in desktop mode right now. We can enter full screen experience, and Microsoft and Xbox claim that using full screen experience on these handhelds can save around 2 gigs of RAM. And this could definitely be helpful for, systems that don't have a lot of RAM. I just wanted to take a look at this in desktop mode and then full screen experience mode. So the only other thing I've got running is MSI Center M, and of course, we've got the Xbox application up and running. We'll open up our task manager, and right from here, we've got our memory. And over here, I've got the full screen experience up and running. And with this, we've got the Xbox application. I've also got MSI Center M, and we'll go ahead and launch the task manager. I've just set up a hotkey here. Now we can get a good idea of how much RAM it's going to be using with and without the full screen experience. And with desktop mode, it does have to load up the desktop and a bunch of different background tasks that don't need to be loaded in full screen experience mode. And as mentioned by Microsoft and Xbox, they stated that up to around 2 gigs of RAM can be saved, and this is actually getting really close. Over on the left-hand side, we've got desktop mode coming in at 7.3 gigs in total usage. And over on the right-hand side, we've got the full screen experience handheld mode. It just jumped up to 6.2 gigs in total usage. It's not that far off, and to tell you the truth, with a system like this, we've got 32 gigs of RAM with the MSI Claw AI. It's not going to make a huge difference. But with handhelds that only have 16 gigs of RAM, which there's quite a few on the market right now, this could make a difference. You could dedicate a little more to VRAM instead of usually setting up 8 gigs for VRAM and 8 for system. You can go up to 10 for VRAM and not really have to worry about it. It's not quite 2 gigs yet, but with further optimizations, I think they could bring it down to that range. One thing I personally haven't seen with full screen experience mode on the handheld yet is a performance increase from, let's say, desktop mode running a game over to full screen experience mode. But with the MSI Claw AI, I actually see a little bit of a gain. I was pretty impressed, and I did run this a few times just to make sure it wasn't a fluke. On the left-hand side, we've got normal desktop mode. On the right-hand side, full screen experience mode. And really, the only difference I'm seeing here is our RAM usage. Now again, with the desktop mode, it does need to run different tasks in the background that it wouldn't in full screen experience mode, so that could be using a little bit of the CPU also. But checking out Cyberpunk 2077 using the medium preset 1200p, 30-watt TDP in normal desktop mode, we averaged 55.37 FPS, and in full screen experience handheld mode, that jumped up to 61.26. I ran this a couple times and it was pretty even, dropped down to like 53 and 58 respectively. But even using the Steam Deck preset at 1200p with a 30-watt TDP, average FPS in normal desktop mode, 49.66, and our average FPS in handheld mode was 58.32. I mean, this is a significant gain when it comes down to it. And the only thing I can really think of is just CPU usage here, because I do think that's what's holding the 258V Intel CPU back a little bit. We've got 8 cores, 8 threads, and it can max out all of those 8 cores pretty quickly. So without those extra tasks, using CPU in the background could be helping here. I also wanted to test at a 17-watt TDP, and in desktop mode, 42, full screen experience mode up to 44 with Cyberpunk 2077 at 1200p medium. Shadow of the Tomb Raider didn't show any gain at all at 1200p low 17-watt TDP. We're right there at 54, both desktop mode and full screen experience. Forza Horizon 5, 1200p medium 17-watt TDP, desktop mode 73, full screen experience mode 76. Not a huge jump, and I might be able to get these same scores if I ran them a few more times together. And finally, Black Myth Wukong, 1200p low with FSR set to 60%, 17-watt TDP. Also looking like we're getting a tiny gain here in full screen experience mode. With most of the games that I tested here with this new update, we did see a jump in performance. Now with a few of them, I mean, it wasn't much at all. With Cyberpunk at that 30 watt, it was looking pretty good, but another thing I wanted to do a quick test on was just battery life. So I tested a couple indie games at low wattages, and there's no gain at all. I mean, they're drawing exactly the same. I was kind of hoping in full screen experience mode, without those extra tasks, using the CPU, we'd see a bump in battery life, but they were the same. Now, I will tell you that full screen experience mode still needs a lot of work. There's some stuff here that I'm just not liking. Mainly, when you boot it up, you go right to the Xbox interface, and it's pretty lackluster when you compare it to, let's say, Steam in big picture mode, or even the built-in MSI Center M game launcher. Personally, I just like the look of those over, the Xbox interface. There's no customization here. That's something that definitely needs to change. And another big thing that I'm noticing is with this, we do have a My App section, but it's really only kind of detecting game launchers. And there's other applications that I personally like to start up. So what I've been doing with this is actually adding them to Steam as a non-Steam game and starting them from there, like hardware info, just to get some more information while I'm playing a game, and a couple other apps here and there. So it would be nice to have kind of a full app launcher built into the full screen experience in that Xbox app also. But I do think that this is a great starting point for Microsoft to fully support these handheld gaming devices. There's a ton of them out there on the market. I'm really glad to see that they're supporting other devices besides the ROG Xbox Ally X, and more device manufacturers will get this in like official Windows updates, so definitely keep an eye out for that. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. I figured it was interesting enough to make a quick video on, and I will be testing this on the MSI Claw A8 with that Z2 Extreme. If there's a performance gain, I may make a video. So if you're interested in seeing this tested on more devices, it'd be pretty cool if you could hit that like button and think about subscribing so you know when I post the next one. And if you've been messing around with the Windows full screen experience mode, let me know in the comments below what you like and what you don't like. But that's it for this one. And like always, thanks for watching.